Hi, and thanks for watching another instructional video for CSCI 1300. In this video, we will talk about arrays and how to introduce the concept of accessing elements within an array of some data type. In C++, arrays are basically a collection of some data type, and they usually have some values stored at some location at an index, which is usually represented in this following format, where the indexing will start at 0 and go up to 1 less than the size of the total number of containers. So in this example, we have 7 containers, or 7 locations that we have stored in the array. So we've set the size of this array to size 7, and notice the last position that we can access in the array is 1 less than 7 because array indexing starts at 0. So this is the general kind of idea of what an array is. It is some collection of some data type with indexing at some value. So you can access a value directly by going to that index or by traversing over this array with some kind of a loop to print at a given index using some kind of a counter. So let's jump into VS Code and talk about how to do that. So I've kind of built a string array from the example that we previously just looked at, and we have a collection of names here. And these names have an index location associated with where they are between 0 and 6, which is all of the positions that we can have in a size 7 array. So say I knew the exact position of a person's name. So what I could do is I could actually just print the names array at some index. Say for instance I was looking at position 3, which would be the 4th name, and I can do that. And if I do that, then what I can say is here I'll say that the name at index, and here let's actually use a different variable than that. So we'll just set name at the index that we're printing. And here let's go ahead and do that. Arrays name and index is Kristen, and that's 0, 1, 2, 3. So we are printing at the 3rd index value, so it's actually the 4th name. And say that we wanted to use another variable. Say we have like an index and we set it to, say, position 6. We can then use the exact same kind of information here, and we can pass in index instead and use that variable to describe that location. And we're going to use the whatever is at that index. So in this example, we should be going to names array as 6, and this time we get the value at the end of the array. Now notice what happens here if I try to access something, say at position 8, which would be 1 more than the size of this container. Notice that what's going to happen is we're going to have a serious problem with our code. The reason why is because we cannot access things outside of the declared scope. So this is outside the scope of our declared size for the array. So we can't use that, and that's why we get that error. So I hope this kind of helps with introducing you to the concept of arrays and accessing values at an array index. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!